We don't know.
Is that email?
Yes, it is.
Neat, eh?
Yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Township Committee meeting. I'd like to call to order Township Committee meeting of July 15, 2013. Provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law.
Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Law, adequate public notice of this meeting has been given. By publication of the required newspapers of the date, time, and location of this meeting within 48 hours in advance. By posting advance written notice on the official bulletin board of the municipal building. By filing advance written notice with the Township Clerk for the purpose of public inspection.
At this time, I'd ask everyone please to turn off their cell phones or put them on vibrate, please. Roll call of officials present.
Committeewoman Taylor? Here. Raymond Village?
Here.
Raymond Masella?
Here.
Deputy Mayor McKay?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here. Salute to the flag will be presented by the Girl Scouts. And, well, there's a presentation there. Okay. Salute to the flag, please.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we have a presentation by the Girl Scouts of the Barnegat Volunteer Fire Company number 1. Young ladies.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, and representatives of the Barnegat Fire Department. We would like to thank you for this opportunity to finish our first Brownie Quest. During this quest, the girls learned to
think about ourselves, our values, and our country.
Thanks, Kate.
Connect. By finding something our country needed, our community needed. We read a story about a dog who was saved by the fire because of the fire and tried oxygen mask. To complete our task, take action project, we present these to you today. To purchase these, we would have to sell many boxes of Girl Scout cookies. And we did. Go ahead. Get the boxes. Get the boxes.
With the presentation of these oxygen masks, they have earned their final quest badge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, just to recap for you, what happened was these are oxygen masks for animals that we could put on the fire trucks in case we encounter any animals that had smoke inhalation. So they read a story about Ship Bottom Fire Company a couple months ago, saved a dog with these types of masks, and they asked us if we had them, we did not, so they used their Girl Scout cookie money to buy them for us.
Thank you. Now I have a presentation from S&S Sports for the Dock Master donation program. Are they here?
Hello.
Hello. Microphone, please.
I'm actually not from S&S Sports. My name is Tanya Algazzini, and I'm the treasurer at the Robert L. Corbell School in Barnegat. And over 250 township residents, along with a dozen Robert L. Corbell School PTA members, organized and participated in a dock fundraiser. Over 750 t-shirts and sweatshirts were sold, totaling more than $10,500. Wow. Together with Bob Smith from S&S Sports, we raised a net profit of $2,150. I would like to present this check to the Dock Masters Donation Fund.
Thank you. That was a good collection, very good. And now we have resolution 2013-233.
Resolution authorizing the township committee to retire in closed session for the purpose of discussing personnel, public safety, contractual and litigation matters.
None needed, Mayor.
Yes.
None needed.
No needed. We have a motion to table resolution.
Motion to table? Second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Taylor?
Yes.
Committeeman Billy?
Yes.
Committeeman Lucella?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCabe?
Yes.
Mayor Morano?
Yes. Before I get into the mayor's report, I'd like to just ask, Jake, you have a report from your committee quickly from the open space?
Thanks. I don't think it's important there.
It's not on.
Anyone? Well, we can fix that.
Should be right on top.
How's that? Okay.
Oh, good.
Hello there.
Hey,
Hey.
now you got it.
Anyhow, Mayor, now remember, I just spoke to Mary Joe, basically they're having a little party, they didn't know what time they could tell them to be here. I didn't have time to tell them, so if you want, what I wanted to do was make a brief report from the Open Space Committee to the public and to the committee itself. I reached out to the attorney for the township, and he never got back to me. After I called him 4 times, I don't know who's paying him, but it ain't us. With some information, he can shake his head all he wants, but I have the emails I sent him, and plus the phone calls. We requested a little bit of information on rewording part of the open space ordinance to stop the fleecing of the funds from going into entirely into recreation. What I would like to bring up, we had $2 million put in the open space fund since it was started, and we had not bought 1 penny worth of open space. Well, that's not the open space fund. At the time this open space fund was put on the ballot, and the good members of Barnegat Township approved to take the 1 penny out, they also rejected the 3 cents to go into the recreation fund. That was the voters in the township rejected it. But it seemed like the previous township committee decided to spend the money on recreation and other things that they think they needed. So anyhow, the Open Space Committee came up with a resolution. We have a suggestion. We are an advisory board. We can advise the township committee on what we think on to rewording the ordinance and putting on the ballot. So we had a summary written up, but I don't like to put it out because I haven't got together with the attorney to make sure it would be all right. What we had in mind was something like, we reached out to about 6 different communities where they had the same problem we had, and they rewrote their open space ordinance so it would go to open space, not to somebody's favorite little deal there, so whatever they want to do with it. So, the penny, 80% would have to be for the purchase of open space, and the other 20% would go to the various things in the ordinance, was like repairing open space, maybe maintenance of recreation lands and stuff like that. But the way the ordinance is written right now, they interpret to take the entire 100% and use it. No open space has been bought out of this $2 million. Zero. So the Open Space Committee, I called the deputy mayor a couple times. She don't get back to me either. So maybe they want to keep it the way it is. But the Open Space Committee feels that the township's getting shallywag by using that money for other than open space. So I don't know if the attorney has any reason he hasn't got back to me. Has he lost my phone number?
Sure.
Yeah.
We have spoken a couple times on the telephone. You've given me a significant amount of materials to look at. I've spoken with members of the governing body about it, and frankly, I think the consensus is not to. People don't want to fight with you, but there is an issue. This is an ordinance that was approved on the ballot. It was approved by the people, and I think that by this governing body then changing the ordinance is only going to lead to problems. If you want to change it, frankly, I think it should go back to the people for change. Now, within the scope of that ordinance, it's a broadly phrased ordinance. There are policy decisions to be made by the governing body. And I think maybe what you're advocating is a narrower use of those funds, and that's permitted. That is a policy decision the governing body certainly can make. But my concern, and I've expressed this to you before, is with the governing body changing the ordinance that's been approved by the people, I think is a road that we shouldn't go down.
Well, that was not what we discussed. I sent you the ordinance of about 6 different towns around here and close to us in the state, which they had changed their ordinance. How they changed it was put a recommendation on the ballot. Back when the ballot, our penny for every $100 of assessation here in Barnegat, it was how we spent it. Some of the suggestions we had was that 80% of that penny had to go to open space. But that would have to go, we thought it would have to go back on the ballot. That's why I was instructed by the committee to contact you, but you never got back to me till right now. I also spoke to the deputy mayor, and she said she was in contact with you and would see what you had to say about it. But the Open Space Committee, unless we revamp it, not the committee itself, on the spending, I mean, it's useless to even have a committee to spend the money the way the township designates. There is no such thing in Barnegat. You can kid all you want of purchasing open space. We haven't purchased any. Out of the $2 million, at the last report I think we had $1,700 out of the $2 million left in the open space fund.
What I'd like to do is, that's getting, a lot of these people, I understand you'd like to.
Well, I'd like to know what happened. They should know what happened to their money.
Positively, and that wasn't this committee that spent their money.
I said the previous committee.
Right. This committee has dedicated not to spend it. And I think what we have to do is you and your committee sit down with us and kind of go one-on-one in a meeting so we know where you stand and where we stand, and the people know we will not spend that money anymore.
Well, we have 2 members of the governing body on the committee, and neither one of you showed up to the last Open Space Committee meeting. I hope you can make it the next time. We have reached out. We know the procedure. And we want to suggest, as an advisory board, of what we figure so the voters in Barney can get a fair shake for their tax dollars. Now, the next meeting, I understand that you and Susan will be there. The next Open Space Committee meeting, it's scheduled every month. I expect you both to be there. Is that all right for you two?
I'll have to check my schedule.
Oh, you have to check your schedule. I think we should have the attorney there do it, because the members of how we should do it actually has to come from him. I'm not in it.
Well, it's not necessarily we're going to do it. We want to discuss the options and what's going on, but I'd like to discuss that. I think we understand now what you're looking to do, and I'd like to get the people, that want to speak tonight. There's an awful lot of people here. I think we should get those first, so if you want to come back later and speak again, that's fine.
I'll come back on my own time with my own personal stuff, but I think he's the members of the committee members of the township committee that's on the Open Space Committee. If they attend the next meeting, we could probably get the ball rolling and make sure that the voters in Barnegat get a fair shake for their open space dollars.
Positive.
And I realize this committee, I want to commend this current committee. They haven't wasted one penny, haven't spent one penny out of open space fund down in the mud hole down the street. you know, and I'm pretty sure we're going to report on that tonight. But the next meeting, we're willing to wait till the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your interest in what the committee's doing and watching our dollars. And thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Len.
Now, Mayor's report. I'd like to just report on the what's been going on the last few weeks. The 4th of July celebration, that was on the 5th. We had a tremendous amount of crowd there. Everyone was under control. Things worked out well. We had a good time, and I believe everybody enjoyed it, even though they were all saying why on the 5th and then not on the 4th. It worked out better that way because we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday things going on down there, and it worked out well. It was a busy weekend. There were I would say thousands of people were there, thousands. So everyone enjoyed, and Mr. Breeden can give a little background on what else happened there.
I'll cover that in my report.
Okay.
Mayor. Thank you.
Good. Also, the dock is working. It's going along. If you get down there, they're doing a fantastic job right now. The gazebo, the pavilion itself is up on blocks. There's structural damage, and it's being worked on. And I would have to say that it'll never move after what I'm seeing there, the way you're cementing it down and putting down the struts. And I commend ARH, believe me when I tell you, is doing a fantastic job, and people are saying what a great job they're doing on the dock and also on the pavilion. I don't think the water will take that away anymore. I really don't. You're doing a good job. Just people keep asking for another stage. I mean, it's unbelievable. They keep asking me because the people 2 miles down ain't going to be able to hear the band. I said, I'm sure they will. If I get any more requests, we may have to build another stage at the far end or in the middle for both sides. But they've been asking for it. Believe me, I'm getting a lot of requests. And other than that, we're moving along. I've had a few interest in some people that have been calling me to bring some businesses in this town. I had a gentleman that previous came, he called me 2 or 3 times. It looks like he's serious about putting Denny's in over where the old Sweet Jenny's was. He's contacted me, he's going to come in with a plan, and he asked me, what else do I feel we may need over there? I said, you're not going to believe it, I need a supermarket. He said, that may be possible. So he told me that he's done this before, put a Denny's and not a big supermarket, a supermarket that will accommodate Barnegat. There's enough room in that site plan, that he feels confident. He's done 2 or 3 of them down south, and he feels Barnegat would be fine to do. And I will let everybody know when he does contact me with the plan and show me what's going on there. But he's very serious. So I hope it works out, and it'll be a good thing for the town. Another gentleman has contacted me that owns the property on West Bay Avenue next to the old Wawa where 7-Eleven's going. He wants to put a medical emergency center in there. I said, perfect. That's who bought the property originally, Soch. That's what it was for. And somewhere along the line it got sold, and he wound up buying it. And that looks very promising. That also looks promising, where it'd be open 24/7, and he'd have, it would be tied, what he feels, to Atlantic Care in Atlantic City, and he's trying to contact them to get it all together. So that's another promising. And I also have another gentleman, they all got my phone number, I don't know how, but I'm glad they did. Out on Route 72, way out where the Barnegat Junkyard used to be, he's looking to put a sealed transfer station, which he had approved by the governor, where the company would just, and it's perfect, because there's no way out, there's nobody there, it's all the way out. And he's looking to put a transfer station where they just load everything there, it's sealed, and ship it to Philadelphia, and it'll be nowhere near the town. And I'm just going to quote, I said to him, what are you going to do for the town? He says, house-free electricity. And I shut my mouth. I said, let me see what he's talking about. So we shall see. I don't know what's going on, but I will let you know what's happening step by step as soon as I find out what's going on with all these people. So it's promising. Barnegat is on the map, and people are starting to come in. the town center, things are happening, so I think we'll be in good shape in the next few years when we get going. Also, on Lighthouse, Vito contacted me. He has 4 or 5 tenants now that he signed up. So he's looking close to getting his money to build that mall over there. So we're getting close. Things are moving, the economy's getting better, and I think Barnegat's going to be in good shape. And that should do it for me. Thank you. We'll have Mr. Billy.
Hey, thank you.
So give you first shot.
Well, I appreciate that very much. Again, I'm still fighting for something to go into where Gennardi's is, and I think that would be an asset to the town also. So I've got some good news, some bad news. Bottom dollar foods, I will quote you. We currently have no interest in outside the Philadelphia metro area. I think Southern Jersey holds a lot of future potential for us. We are not ready to leap at this time. I also sent a letter just recently to a Clark's supermarket, which they just opened up in Berkeley in late November, and I just sent a letter off to them. They're about 20,000 square feet, which is a smaller type supermarket, but hey, I keep putting the bait out there and see what happens. In addition, I'm also working with Comcast a little bit, not to take anything away from Elaine, but they got some problems in Pheasant Run, which, especially on a Poplar Court, I think, Marty, you know where that is. I'm not even sure which street
He
that's
lives
on.
there.
Well, I know. Probably, he's got direct TV. He doesn't even have Comcast. And so anyway, I've been working with them and trying to make some of the people happy. They have a lot of outages in that area, so, or whatever it is. So get in contact with it. Somebody's got to contact. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Several items to report on. We'll start with Lower Shore. I'm glad to report that work has commenced at Lower Shore Road regarding the installation of the multi-purpose artificial turf field. Mr. Cotton has started to stage material in preparation of the installation effort. In addition to moving forward with constructing of the much-needed recreational field, Mr. Cotton, who has volunteered many hours of his labor and expertise, has been successful with obtaining a high-quality field from a professional venue in the Mid-Atlantic region. This field had very limited previous use and will benefit the township for many years to come. Also, the existing turf will be utilized as a perimeter around the actual playing surface, saving the cost of placing a suitable surface in that adjacent area, along with reducing overall maintenance costs. Again, with great anticipation, we are eager to witness the completion of the field so young and old can enjoy its use. This will represent a valuable and long overdue recreational asset for Barnegat Township. Furthermore, the township engineer has agreed to waive or donate, depending on your point of view, to the township the cost of preparing the report evaluating the various options associated with the field that had previously been requested by the mayor. The township is greatly appreciative of this gesture by the township engineer. Thank you. On to Cherry Street. On the agenda this evening is the first reading of an ordinance regarding the vacation of Cherry Street. There has been much public discussion on this matter. In response to concerns raised by the public, the township took the extraordinary step of performing environmental testing at the site to determine if there were any environmental concerns. The township felt compelled to perform the testing at the site in order to provide tangible proof of the environmental condition of the area. My position on Cherry Street has been consistent since the start, and I always advocated the need to perform this environmental testing prior to any formal action being taken by this body. The township engineer has received the results of the testing and has reported that there are no areas of concern related to environmental contamination on Cherry Street. While the township engineer can provide additional details on the testing results, my recommendation this evening will be to move forward with the process of vacating Cherry Street. Out of an abundance of caution, the township took the additional step of performing the environmental testing prior to taking any formal action. Since the finding of the test indicate no areas of concern, the township has an obligation to move forward and vacate the property. Lack of action on this item will expose the township to litigation that would most likely yield an unfavorable result for the township. Now on to the municipal budget. It was the plan of the township this evening to introduce the 2013 municipal budget. However, I must unfortunately announce that a consensus could not be reached, and as such, it would have been unwise to proceed with a budget introduction that did not have a majority vote. While the difference of opinion is relatively small, it is significant enough to cause this delay. Since this is the first municipal budget that I must examine, in order to gain a solid understanding of the process, I reached out to the township professionals for guidance, advice, and direction. Quickly, I discovered that many factors impact the development of the budget. The most challenging aspect of crafting a responsible budget is balancing the financial realities with the operational needs of the township. In other words, being sensitive to the taxpayers of this community while making sure township staff has the necessary resources to properly and safely perform their duties. During my brief tenure on this committee, I have grown to respect the opinion of our township administrator, his managerial staff, and our independent contractors. This township, more than any other, has led the way with establishing meaningful and far-reaching shared service agreements which have greatly assisted with stabilizing costs or enhancing revenue. Additionally, since 2010, the township has been successful with decreasing the overall budget along with decreasing the tax levy. However, there comes a point in time when nominal increases in the budget must be acknowledged in order to maintain a strong, long-term financial position. To think that budgets or taxes will never increase is simply an unrealistic expectation. At this point in time, I would agree with committee member Lasala and recommend we afford an opportunity for our administrator to work on developing a consensus among the balance of the governing body, as no one person on this committee understands better all the moving parts of this municipality. And he, like all of us on this dais, have a strong appreciation of the delicate balance between imposing any undue financial hardships on the taxpayer and making sure township personnel have the resources required to effectively perform their work, along with securing our financial future. Through our administrator, I encourage those committee members who appear to be bogged down in political gamesmanship to return to the budget, to speak with our administrator and our auditor, and do what is right for the fiscal health of this town. There is no doubt in anyone's mind, especially mine, that any tax increase is undesirable. However, there are times when a reasonable tax increase reflects prudent financial planning, and frankly, the numbers do not lie. The time has come to consider an acceptable increase in the tax rate in order to avoid an unstable financial future. Thank you.
Good. Mrs. Taylor?
I only have, since everybody's been pretty long this evening, I have a couple of short comments. Dock Master Program, now with our $2,000 that we got, thank you very much. We're up to $21,000 for our Dock Master Program. The other thing I want to say is Joe Kostecki and I, who's in our clerk's office, went to a class and we are now both certified as grant writers. So hopefully we'll be able to find some grants out there to help the township and other of the schools and things like that. And the last thing that I wanted to say was regarding the budget. We got our budget late. We got our budget within the week. Unfortunately, I have not had a chance to go over it as well as I would like to go over it. I have numbers in mind. I know that there's going to be an increase, but I was not going to agree with what the increase that was being suggested. And so I've requested more information so we can keep going through it and try to get it as low as possible. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Marty?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things before I get started. First of all, Fernandez is in the audience, and I hope he comes up later to expatiate more on this day on the bay, but we have the pictures there for the special needs program that Walt Fernandez and his family run twice a year, and it's really a special event. And again, I hope Walt comes up and gives you more explanation about it, but it's a great event. Everyone was excited to be there and helping. We had a lot of help this year, and the next one is in August, and I hope people that can attend and help out will join us. All right. I have a couple things, but I don't want to echo Deputy Mayor, but my thoughts are almost identical to hers on this budget issue. I've been up here 5 years. We've worked for 4 years, and I see a decrease in our budget numbers, but there comes to a point where you can't keep decreasing. There's increasing costs. We have storms. We have other issues here. We have to run a budget that makes sense. And the auditor, who I didn't meet with yet, which I want to meet, but I think I need to have him here at one of the meetings explaining to the audience what the real costs are to keep a balanced budget. We don't want to shortchange anyone and then double and triple the numbers in the years coming up. We need to run it like you run a household. You have so much money, you have to run it and with the money that you have coming in. And I think we have to be realistic about it. We can't push it off, worry about election years, who's running, who's not running. This has got to be done every year for the cost, the real cost to run the town. We've been running it very efficiently. Like I said, we'll compare ourselves to any full-service town out there that has 22,000 residents and look at their budget numbers. And if anyone can find in the state of New Jersey, remember you live in New Jersey, if anyone in the state of New Jersey is running a better budget than we are, I think everyone on this committee, and including Mr. Breeden, will go to that town to see how they're doing it better than we're doing it here. The last thing I want to address is the recycling. Starting on July 1st, the township has started to utilize the services of an outside vendor to furnish recycling collection services for Barnegat. This move will yield both financial savings and operational enhancements for the community. A hybrid collection schedule is being used in which weekly recycling collection is provided essentially from Memorial Day through Labor Day and during the holiday season in December. The cost of this collection schedule will generate financial savings for the township from both an operational and a capital perspective. While it took some time to address the recycling collection issue, the final product greatly benefits the township. I would like to thank the Deputy Mayor and other members of this committee for diligently working on this important service to the residents of Barnegat. Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Thank you. I'd just like to say on this budget, as I know and everybody sitting here knows, the people of this town cannot afford another tax increase. I don't care what anybody here says. When I look at $300,000 in overtime, I think we better kind of get our shit together, excuse me. But it aggravates me when people are starving out there, as Jake could tell you. Food pantry is overwhelmingly. People are losing homes left and right. And we're sitting here making decisions with overtime out of control. This committee has to sit down and do something about it, because we're way out of control with spending, and it shouldn't be. When I see people out on Saturday picking up, cutting grass, no more. This has got to stop. I mean, here we are, you're talking about hiring cops. You're not going to get them this year. There's no way in the world. You're telling everybody out taxpayer that we're going to raise their taxes and you want to hire more cops? Not me, pal. It'll never happen. The people have to come first. The safety of this town is plenty with 45 that we have now. It's not an emergency. Their pocket and mine is an emergency. Because one more big tax hit, ain't going to be many people left in this town. And we can't do that to the people. That's why we're here, to protect you and my money and your money. I mean, it's crazy. You have to sit down and look at the little things, the small things that are costing us every day, and spending is out of control. It has to stop. So I'm just saying that, I'll let you know now, if there's you come up with a large tax, I'm not voting for it, and I'll be 100% against it. Thank you. Mr. Breeden?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of reports before we get to the